Before we get into today's Cowboys Report, apologies for sounding not quite right. Weather got me down a little bit. How much do you care about the Cowboys season right now? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. I made it 1 because if you're watching, I assume you care at least a little bit. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. We're going to begin with some Trey Lance conversation for the Dallas Cowboys. With Cooper Rush playing like Cooper Rush tends to play, calls continue for giving Trey Lance a shot at quarterback. But Jerry Jones not as sold on that. Asked about it on 105 through the Fan about, hey, when are you going to give Lance a shot? Could it be this week? I don't think so, Jerry said. I thought for the most part, we did some good things out there, and I still believe Rush gives us our best chance. Wins are very important for us. Very important for us. This is a young team. Cooper, we think, gives us our best chance. We once look at everything about Monday night and make sure the tail of the tape, so to speak, keeps us in the same mode. But it's very important to go down, beat Carolina for this team next year. We got a lot of young players out here who want to get that experience. And so you have to consider that when you consider, if you will, evaluating such a critical position such as quarterback. Now, I actually do get the impact on other spots. It's valid. It's understandable. I get where Jerry's coming from. I will also say this. Rush is very clearly a limited player. He does not feel comfortable pushing the ball downfield. Doesn't have a great arm. The timing has to be perfect, or he doesn't have the ability to, unlike, say, a Joe Burrow. His arm's not that much worse than Joe Burrow. But Burrow's so anticipatory. It doesn't matter, the strength. It gets out where it needs to go inaccurately. Rush is not the same caliber of player, obviously. This is pretty much in line, folks, with what Rush has been over his entire NFL career. He's going to complete about 60% of his passes. It's not very good. The yards per attempt is actually down this year. It was about 6 over the course of his career. Neither is very good. And he's always had a fringe, 1.5 touchdown to turnover ratio. An offense led by Cooper Rush on a good night scores 20. That's what you had against Bengals. It's kind of who he is. Ceiling is very much capped. So if you want to start Trey Lance, at least for the entertainment and the mystery box side of it, I get it. So pick one to start. TL for Trey Lance, CR for Cooper Rush. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. The pinned comment, by the way, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. I am in favor of playing Lance. And the mystery box of what Trey Lance could be, it could be worse. It could be a boat. It's probably not going to be a boat. It could be tickets to a comedy show. It might be tickets to a comedy show. That's a lot more appealing when the alternative is Cooper Rush, not Brock Purdy, not Dak Prescott, Look, Lance wasn't very good in the preseason. Now, he's a dual threat. He can run. He gives you elements that you don't have at all with Cooper Rush, but it's not like he's a fantastic football player. There's a lot of downside with playing Rush or Lance of he'll miss more throws. He won't be on time the same way that Cooper Rush is, but if Rush is also just going to miss throws with accuracy, what's the downside? Now, I fully expect Rush to start this week. We'll see if the Lance package comes back into play here. The Cowboys of note are eliminated from the playoff race with a loss to Carolina and if the Commanders beat the Saints. Again, things don't look very good for you. Think back to what's happened every time the Panthers have won a game this year. The Raiders benched Gardner Minshew. That was mid-game. They gave Minshew 2 more starts, then benched him again. Then O'Connell got hurt, then Minshew came back in. But a benching happened, so I'm cheating here. The Saints fired Dennis Allen after they lost to Carolina. The Giants benched and then eventually cut Daniel Jones after they lost to Carolina. When the Panthers win, the Panther firing god demands a sacrifice. So my prediction is this. If the Cowboys lose to the Panthers on Sunday and the Commanders beat the Saints and the Cowboys are fully out of the playoff race, I think Trey Lance will start the next game for the Dallas Cowboys. That is my early prediction. We'll see if I look smart or stupid in about a week. Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by the Tushy Bidet. It easily attaches to your existing plumbing without the need for additional plumbing or electricity. Washing with a precise stream of fresh water removes 99% of bacteria compared to wiping with toilet paper. Installation, super simple and takes 10 minutes to complete. Anyone can do it. People who have made the switch to Tushy use up to 80% less TP. There's no more clogged toilets, and you're saving your money on toilet paper. Save your money and your ass at the same time. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. So give the gift of practical luxury this holiday season that benefits everyone in your household. Go to hellotushy.com/chat to grab your deal before it's gone. And don't forget to give us a shout while you're there and let them know that we sent you. Go to hellotushy.com/chat for the best gift this holiday season. The link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. It's hellotushy.com/chat. hellotushy.com/chat. Let's talk coaching stuff to wrap up the remainder of today's show. Troy Aikman, ESPN, former Cowboy quarterback, advocating for the return of Mike McCarthy as Cowboys head coach. Here's what Aikman told 105.3 The Fan. Short of Bill Belichick, I don't know who you're going to bring in that has a better resume. I just feel for a team that I really don't think is that far away. Like this team is playing right now, even though they're French quarterback. I like the way that they're playing. I sense it's a team that really believes in Mike McCarthy. I think the locker room wants him back. I think he's a really good football coach. I think Jerry Jones thinks he's a really good football coach too. So as we stand and talk right now, I expect Mike McCarthy to be back in 2025. Look, I do agree that this team believes in Mike McCarthy. I also know this to be true. That is a requirement for the job. It is a prerequisite. You have to have belief from your team, or there's no conversation about you staying. It is not a defining feature of why a coach should get to stay. Doesn't matter if the team believes in you if you're bad at your job or you're not good enough at your job. That's not a reason to keep somebody. Maybe it's a reason not to fire someone midseason, but it's not a reason to retain someone who's out of a contract after this year, who wasn't good enough for an extension previously. So do you want Mike McCarthy back as the Cowboys head coach? Why for yes and for no? Let me know in the comment section of today's show. My answer is no. I don't want to go down this path. It's been 5 years. We know how this story ends. And I do want to dispute one thing that I think Aikman mentioned. Resume is far from the only thing that matters. Yes, Mike McCarthy has a playoff or a Super Bowl. That's awesome. You can look at the playoff success and go, that's not very good playoff success in Dallas. It's a long time ago that he won a Super Bowl. And let's look at what is, I think, probably a consensus-ish top 10 NFL head coaches right now. Not maybe 100% either way. You can argue for guys like Sean McDermott, but I think also fits this mold. Look at the top NFL head coaches in the NFL right now. Sean McVay, John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, Kyle Shanahan, Dan Campbell, Mike Tomlin, Matt LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell, Sean Payton, Andy Reid. There is one Super Bowl win among all 10 of those guys when they're head with Sean Payton. Harbaugh made one. All of those guys were unknowns. They were not former NFL head coaches. If you are trying to just only hire the guy with the best resume, what are you doing? You have to look at all types of options. You need to interview first-time head coaches. Now, yeah, that opens up the door for hiring a worse head coach and getting worse results. Yes. You also have a better chance of getting a better head coach. You have to look at the offensive coordinators. You have to look at the offensive minds who have not been head coach before. You have to do a real coaching search. If you limit your field to only coaches who have been available, that have been head coaches, your field is really thin, and it's not a very good crop. And yeah, Mike looks like a top 2, top 3 option then. That's not what we're doing. It's not what we're supposed to be doing. You have to look beyond that. You have to expand your field of options. You have to, a bigger pool of candidates gets you a better chance of finding a better coach. That's literally just math. Now, Jerry's public comments have all been to back Mike McCarthy so far. However, they have not been to commit to him beyond this year. And you can very much just take the names out of every single Jerry Jones quote, and it sounds just like what he said with Jason Garrett. All of this reminds me of the end of the Jason Garrett era. All of it. It's just not quite good enough. Yeah, Jerry likes the guy, but he's out of a contract. Why do I feel like there's a real possibility, just like last time, the Cowboys haven't fired Jason Garrett officially? He's still doing his exit interviews at the end of the season, and the Cowboys are interviewing head coaches behind the scenes still. Why do I feel like that might end up happening again? Now, we are getting closer and closer to 203,500 subscribers. Hit that sub button for more free Cowboys YouTube videos. Now, if you do want to focus in on the resume guys, what have you done for me lately is pretty intriguing with Mike Vrabel, since he has made the playoffs several times, or had made it in Tennessee with a lesser quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. ESPN again linking Vrabel to the Cowboys. They also mentioned the Raiders, in large part because of the Tom Brady connection there, and the Chicago Bears, who also seem to always be in the market for the CEO-style head coach. Here's what ESPN's Jeremy Fowler wrote. Some around the league have noted the Cowboys as a natural fit. They value experience and pedigree with their last hire, Mike McCarthy, and could lean that way if they decide to make a change at all. So, hypothetically, let's say you hire Mike Vrabel. Grade that hire for me, for the Cowboys. A, B, C, D, or F. Vrabel's last 2 years did not end very well in Tennessee. No playoff wins there. No playoff results. Didn't win a playoff game his final 4 years. Did make it 2 years. Had a division win, or I think a bye in there as well, which I think should always count. I feel like if you're so good, you don't have to play it. You don't have to play the first round of the playoffs. You should get a automatic playoff win. I think that's fair. If we're going to be so obsessed with playoff wins, I think Vrabel's a good head coach. I think he does some good stuff with the CEO style leadership stuff in general. But the offensive coordinator hire would be just as important. Vrabel had success when Matt LaFleur was his OC, when Arthur Smith was his OC. Not so much when it was Todd Downing and company. So, first question I interview with Mike Vrabel with, who's your OC? That with Todd Downing as his answer, I'm not hiring him.